We just focus on ourselves. We focus on our process, our principles, our training, our people. Focus on our performance every single day. Try to make it a habit. So at the end of the day, it's not about replicating it in the game. It's about replicating every day that we come and train.
And then is there anything specific with St. Louis with that 3 center back line that you have to kind of train differently to play them?
Yeah, I mean, when you play against a back five, the spaces change. So we'll focus on the spaces we want to exploit and the ones that we want to take away when they have the ball. But we still focus mostly on ourselves. And we focus again on our style of play, our principles, and make that as much of a habit as possible.
What do you think
Expectations for the season, Coach?
Huh?
Expectations for the season?
Yeah, expectations are there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, there's going to be really high highs as we had in Galaxy. And listen, we're gonna trip and we're gonna have stumbling blocks. But what I know is that the guys are gonna stay committed to our style of play, to our values, and to who we are.
And if I was someone that had never been to a San Diego FC game, which you haven't, what can they expect for a professional MLS game?
I think a lot of excitement in the stands. They'll see an exciting game. It'll be an exciting game because we want to play with initiative, and then they'll see a fighting team spirit from us.
And what does it mean to be a part of the San Diego FC history as the first team?
Yeah, I mean, all of us are honored by this opportunity, and at the end of the day, we also cherish the responsibility that comes with it, and it's a big responsibility because we know the club will be here 100 years from now. We won't, and so the steps that we take now are going to be pushing this club in a trajectory, and we want to make sure we do the best.
What have you heard from around the soccer world about you guys' win the other night?
I'm a media and social media illiterate. I don't hear very much. What I do know is that we analyzed the game. We were really happy with how we played, but we still see a lot of room for improvement too. So this week we're focusing on being humble. Listen, we won one game. We want to win more. Being relentless in terms of always wanting more, and then having a growth mindset because we know that we could be better.
How about phone calls, texts, things like that?
Huh?
How about phone calls, texts from friends?
Yeah,
colleagues,
everybody's
whatever?
really excited. Listen, we can't take away what the boys did. The first game in history, you go away to LA, and you beat a team that's reigning champions and hasn't lost a home game since 2023. You did something important, but the most important thing is to turn the page and know that this is a marathon of a season, and we got to focus on being champions every day in training before we can do anything special from a results standpoint.
In the NFL, they have the 24-hour rule since this is my MLS debut. Is there something similar where you celebrate for a while, but then you put it behind you?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Listen, we have a philosophy in terms of when you win and you do something, you should celebrate. You have to celebrate small victories in life. It's not every day that you get to do that. But you got to get over it pretty quick. And then you got to look deep into details to see what you can get better at. And when you lose, you should be pissed off for a bit, but you have to have that same turnaround. And you have to also look at the game with eyes of growth, but also with eyes with a balance of emotions to make sure that you actually recognize that when you lose, not everything was so bad either.
Bernie, as we used to ask Philip Rivers, can you take momentum into this game knowing it happened last week? Philip used to say too much time.
Yeah, momentum is a tricky thing, and we call it the flow here. So how does flow keep going in your direction? But all I do know is that we talk about it a lot in terms of training to training, week to week, and game to game, how we can impact the flow, the momentum of the game as much as possible.
I'm curious on what led to the decision to trade away an international roster spot for Luca Bombino.
We see Luca as a high potential talent. We've talked about this idea that we're here to win, but how we win and who we win with matters. And part of that who is character, but the other part of that who is young, promising talents that can make next steps into Europe at some point. So we see Luca with tremendous potential, and we want to work with him to help him make next steps and help us win at the same time.
And how's the fitness for some of the players that weren't available, like Andres Reyes? I know Franco came out with a knock in the game. How is the?
Yeah, Franco's good, and then Andres is good. He's good to go. It's just a matter of us making sure that we set him up for success. So making sure that we give him enough volume in training before we throw him back out into a match. But he's going to be an important part of this team, and when he's ready, he'll be flying.
In your time here in San Diego, have you gotten the sense for how excited fans are to have MLS
Yeah.
finally?
Yeah, it's pretty obvious when you meet the fans and when you're around them. And we've been lucky enough to have a lot of events where we've had really close interactions with the fans. So I recognize most of their faces now, and I know a lot of their names, which is for me something quite special.
Like after Andres' second goal there, 90-plus minutes in, the broadcast got you giving a pretty good celebration. Can you take us back into that emotion after all the build-up and everything, knowing you had clinched that first victory, just what that was like for you?
I have no idea what I did, and honestly, all I was thinking about was the next 30 seconds was going to be the most important. You know, as soon as the goal happened, I know I celebrated. Again, I don't know exactly what I did. You lose your mind a little bit when you score goals in football because it's such a hard thing to do. But I know as soon as that went away, I wasn't thinking the game was over. I was thinking we need to finish strong. We need to go for a third goal. We need to keep them out of our box.